Good evening, everybody. Stephen Shirley here on week five's discussion topic, video discussion on diversity, listening, and learning. Question asked, what did you learn? What did you take away from this? Obviously, my big question in the readings that I didn't really find when the articles were talking about it, the Forbes article, Why Diversity is Good, they didn't define what they meant by diversity. That was one of the things I've always wondered about when I was working at State Farm. Diversity was a big issue, something they really looked for, but they didn't really get a good handle on what they meant by diversity. What are you diversifying? Is it just having a 50-50 split between the sexes? Do you want diversity of age? Do you want diversity of religion, diversity of skin color? Diversity of thought, political, social. What do you mean? I kind of look at my current business job that I work in with Family Pet Health, our veterinary clinic. My brother employs 12 people, including himself, I think, 8 females, 4 males. We have 2 African American, a Jordanian. Trying to think of the ages. I'm the oldest at 45. The 2 doctors are 38 to 44. The vet techs are a little bit old. I mean, they're in late 20s, but most of the others are early 20s or even still teenagers. So you have some diversity of age, but not really. If I'm the oldest, I like to think that I'm not old. So diversity of age isn't really present. We have some diversity of sex. We have some diversity of ethnicity, religion. Yusuf is Muslim, and that was interesting last month during Ramadan. Our staff meetings, we have food. A lot of times we have a vendor who will bring lunch to make a lunch and learn, a presentation. Well, we specifically made a point not to schedule any that week or for that month because it felt awkward to eat when Yusuf was fasting. And so you had there's some diversity. And that was an interesting conversation because most of our staff not very familiar with Ramadan, not very familiar with the Muslim faith. And so Yusuf had an opportunity to share and trying to be cognizant of what's appropriate, what's not, and questions. But diversity was a question that in the readings I didn't get answered. Obviously, we all value a different. We value the cross-pollination of ideas and experiences. Well, that's important. In our company, we value diversity of our employees for the customer's sake because we want our customers to see themselves when they come in, that our company reflects our customers. So we have males, we have females. We have some animals that just don't like females. We have far more animals that don't like males. Hey, stay away, Pooch. So that's something to be cognizant of. But that's important. If you had an animal that didn't like females, but there's only females on staff that day, that could be a problem. So just the practical realities of diversity. But we also diversify with experiences with our students that rotate through, value that diversity, that fresh infusion of energy. We had a student worker in the spring semester. We had one for the June who came in once a week. We have 2 in the month of July, one who works on Mondays, one who works on Thursdays. And that's good for our company. We give back, we help train, we assist with that purpose, but it also infuses our company with some fresh energy and some fresh training, some things that they're hearing that maybe we're not as plugged into, separated from the academia. Obviously, listening is important in a company, especially in a customer service related as a veterinary practice is. So listening is, and why it's important, that Chronicle website discussion, what I took away from it, my role in the reception and then media marketing component of my role is listening as I'm gaining information. What's the problem? What is wrong with your animal, with your pet, so that I can transfer that information to our treatment staff, as they're the ones who will need that information, and the customer could give it to them again, but if I take good enough notes, if I listen actively and listen well, I can summarize and save my treatment staff some time, making them more efficient and allowing us to process through more customers in an efficient, not a hasty manner, but efficiently. But it also develops listening, develops trust and relationship. A customer walks in the door, they want to know that I'm listening to them. They want to feel valued. They want to have a connection, and that connection comes by my listening to them, and incorporating what they're sharing into their visit. And then finally, my role, they love to give me the problem cases, conflict resolution, where an individual is upset, something has gone wrong, but especially they come in, it's when their pet is at their worst. Their pet is sick, their pet is potentially dying, and they're angry, they're upset. They're not angry with us, but they're upset. And one of my roles is to take those cases and move them to resolution. And the only way I can do that is utilizing listening. I really appreciated the TED Talk. The thing that jumped out, we retain 25% of what we hear. I'm really curious what you are going to retain from what I've shared in this 6.5 minutes. What it is that you are going to take away from this. So I may poll, next week. Hey, what did you guys remember? But when he gave those 5 points to silence, and that's the one I would leave it. I would have stopped right there for me, is to just stop. Be silent. And to listen. So my time is up. I will end with that dramatic pause. But those are what I really took away. I really appreciated it, and I look forward to discussing this with everybody on the boards.